First, Prism Comics. You've all heard this spiel before, but we are an all-volunteer, non-profit organization dedicated to the promotion of LGBT talent, characters, comics, issues, and themes in the field. To raise the entire profile, not just of PRISM, but of the LGBT community. Remember, though, that we are a non-profit, all-volunteer organization. So please think about giving us your time, your money, as well as your support. Our website is prismcomics.org. We have a really, comprehensive website. If you're a publisher, we are really cool about linking to your stuff. If you're a member of the creative community, please get in touch with us, volunteer to write an article or be the subject of an interview. We're really open to it. And again, thank you so much for your support, just for being here in this room. It's amazing. And thank you to the con, because we have, including Andrew Mangle's 21st Gays and Comics panel, and the LGBT Mixer, 4 panels this year. 4 panels at this time. Stop at the booth, pick up the gay agenda, look at all the books we have, all the other stuff. This panel is a really groundbreaking panel because it touches on a really serious issue. And it touches on a serious issue, the portrayals of LGBT characters in comics. There is no way we're going to exhaust everything about this particular issue. But opening the dialogue is really important and is, I think, one of the greatest gifts that the con has given us, is allowing us to open this dialogue. We're just opening this dialogue, though. There's a way to go. Especially thinking that we just started talking about it 20-some years ago. And now we're really talking about serious issues. And let's start introducing the panel, because I don't want to really talk that much. To my left and going down, Perry Moore, the writer of Hero Hero, which is a book that makes you cry every 20 pages. And he's also the executive producer of the Chronicles of Narnia series, and does other film work, and will be at our booth with a lot of these people after the panel, so he can give you the rest of his bio. So his bio is like, we could spend all day on that. Sitting next to him is the writer of Manhunter, Mark Andreco. If you are not buying his book, buy his book. That is not a request, that's a demand.
It's a great gift.
Much like it to the embracing word and the validation word. Sitting next to Mark is Gail Simone. I'm really happy because Gail and I wanted to do a panel together for about 7-8 years. Gail has written for Marvel and DC. She's currently writing Wonder Woman, so if you like Wonder Woman now, you can thank her for it.
Woo!
Before she wrote comics, she was a columnist, wrote the column You'll All Be Sorry, and wrote the infamous column Women in Refrigerators, that looked at the treatment of women in comics, which inspired Perry to write his column that was in Peter David's message board, Who Cares About the Death of a Gay Superhero Anyway? Those two topics inspired this panel. Next to Gail is Judd Winnick, the award-winning writer of Pedro and Me, the topic of which is when Judd was on Real World, he was with an AIDS victim and watched the progression of AIDS. He writes for DC now, and he's doing Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and Titans. Am I correct? And Titans, bringing it back to the spirit of Marvin George, which I don't have to even say their names, Marvin George. And at the end is one of my best pals in comics, Bob Schreck. Is a group editor at DC Vertigo, though in some ways he's an editor without portfolio, and is developing many projects and lots of incredible talent. And I can say absolutely that Bob Schreck is the most progressive editor in comics.
I pay her well.
I just get paid in hugs. Okay, we finally have queer superheroes in comics. Are we happy with them? And we'll start there.